What's up? It's your boy back at it again with another technical analysis of an underrated thrower. This one is Daniella Pearsson, coached by the great Vastina Styson. Um, I, to be quite honest, I don't know how far she throws, but I was going through Global Throwing, the YouTube channel, and I just saw her throw, and I thought it was really nice, really technically sound, really nice, and really simple and I think a great technical model for a beginner to start out with looking because it's just so simple. Let's watch it a couple times. As you can see, she's a non-reverser. Really nice even block. Nice rhythm and acceleration. Alright, let's get to the nitty gritty. So, start off with very nice wind. Very low to the ground, both knees bent. Kind of shifts a little bit over her right leg. Which I would not recommend for a beginner to start out with. Just because it makes it harder to get over her left. I mean, your left, if you're not technically sound enough, because you're just so far over, you don't have as much weight over your left leg. But she does a very good job because she's experienced in doing this, of getting over her left. The advantage of doing this is it builds a little more rhythm and you can stretch further back. And it will cause since you can wind further back, you can get greater momentum out of the back of the ring, which can lead to further throws, and it will be easier to turn out of the left, but it's just more difficult to do. So, really balanced over her left. Really nice wide sweep, keeping her arms level and shoulders level. The chest holds. The head does not hold out of the back, but the chest does until she sprints. I would say that she gets off kind of late, just a little, out of the back with her left leg. So if she sprinted a little sooner, she would land a little further back over her right and a little more balanced, and it wouldn't take such a long time for her left to get down in the front. But she saves this because she's really flexible. She can hold this right side back, waiting for the left to get down. So she's really patient. I mean, her glute and disc are in the same direction, which is insane mobility that very few men can do. In fact, very few women can either. And the reason I picked her also is because of this, basically right here. This is when you're a coach, like, you need to be patient at the front. This is what he's talking from, like, middle to front. This is what he means. Keeping this right side back and really just working it all the way through while keeping this left side in check. So see how it looks like she's pulling, but what she's doing is right here, she's initiating the stretch across her chest, which in turn will create a stretch reflex, which will just automatically just whip around this disc, her right side. And because she has a really nice left side block, she'll keep she'll keep the right side turning into this left side block, and she's just perfectly stable. Now, her left leg does move back a little, but the disc is already out of her hand, so it doesn't really matter at all. But but this is, I think, a great basic non-reverse, nice training throw. That's really easy to copy. Going back, really low, wide balanced sweep leg. Really rotational. So to summarize, I would say what I would correct would be just sprinting a little sooner, so she gets her right leg down faster and her left leg down faster, so she doesn't need to really get this patience, and she'll just move faster throughout the ring. Granted, this is a training throw, so in comp she could sprint faster. I haven't actually found a comp throw of her, so she may normally just sprint earlier. Again, this is a training throw. What I also want, what's also really nice is that she really keeps her head in line with the disc, which I think is a great training tool. To learn a non-reverse. Granted, like when you're actually putting power through a non-reverse, you're probably not going to keep your head in line with that, because the thing you have to watch out for is you don't want to peak. You don't want to like really focus on that until the finish. Like you want to just look at the release for a split second, because if you think about holding your head forward throughout the entire release, what that'll do is it'll throw off your timing and you'll rush your left side and your upper body, because you'll try and look way too soon and it will throw off everything. Well, here I would even say like she is kind of peaking a little bit, but then she stops it. Let's see, left gets down right there. She's already kind of looking, but she has good patience with this left arm, and she's able to find the separation between her left side and right side, because they're not moving as a unit. They're very separated. So like this left side is independent of the right side. So that way she can get this whip. But that is a thing to watch out for if you are training this. I also believe it leads to a very slow finish, but I believe it's a good training tool if people are having problems pulling or just not following through on the finish. I think it's just a good training tool. I would recommend doing it with like a med ball and going really slow in drills. I would personally not recommend doing that for an actual throw that you would do it in comp, just because I do believe it leads to more good than harm if you're trying to throw far. But I think it's a good training and drill method of throwing. I think it would be more used as a drill to really, and also like you can find that your shoulders are in check, like shoulders are level, in balance, and that you're on balance. So anyway, keeps the right leg. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to know. Wanted to mention, in a non-reverse, and in fact even a reverse, you don't want your right leg to extend, to like actually be fully extended throughout the throw, and I think that's a big misnomer, because when you do that, you're just gonna jump instead of rotating and actually going forward. She kind of does. Well, I mean, it's already out of her hand, like right there, so she's still a little bent. But the other thing, like, so basically, like, when you just fully extend this right leg at the finish, what that's gonna do is just gonna put both feet off the ground while the implement is still in your hand, So now you're no longer producing force. And what that'll do is it'll give you a lot more up, but it won't get you out. And you will eliminate the rotational speed that you generated throughout the entire throw. So you effectively just jump up and you lose a whole lot of power and you won't throw as far. And that's why I think a non-reverse is a very good training tool. Or, I mean, very few athletes, women it's more natural just because to hit to do a non-reverse rather than a reverse, just because women are way more mobile and flexible than men, so they can hit a really deep position, so it makes sense for them to do a non-reverse because they can hit this really separated position. They can throw far, whereas very few men can hit this kind of position. I can only think of a few that actually throw far, like Jürgen Scholl, Lars Riedel, Robert Harding. I mean, the Germans, basically. Some throwers in the 80s. But yeah, it's basically, yeah, so you will want to watch out, like, a lot of coaches will be, extend fully with both legs, and that's not what you want, because you will eliminate the rotational speed and power that you get. And you'll lose tension too in the implement as well, because you basically uncoil your core way too soon. So and it can lead to a lot of other problems like scooping with the arm, like palming the disc. And this applies as well to shot put as well. So, I hope that helps. But yeah, a really nice solid throw. And yeah, I hope this helps. See y'all later.